Weeks ago, he was graduating high school. He had a family and a girlfriend that made everything worth it. Now, all he had was his training. Thankfully, training is what kept Johnny Rico alive. How's it going, Kings? He's literally me, bro. And before we begin today, I just wanted to say two things. Firstly, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't, comment your opinions or suggestions down below, and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Now, secondly, all the info for today's video comes from the first and third movie and what anyone could tell me about the book. I don't have the book, so I'm mostly pulling this video from the movies. I'm like 69% certain that my friends have told me the true stuff about the Starship Troopers book universe, and thus I'm using what they've told me to help flush out the world a bit more as I give y'all some context. But very little amount of it is from the book, mostly what I'm going to tell you is from the movies. I should still be able to give you guys an accurate description of today's literally me character and why he's literally us. But if you're an elitist and I, God forbid, get some details wrong, you can always flame me in the comments. You guys are kings, but I really don't care. Anyways, thank you, and now we're going to get into the video. When a capable man loses everything he has, he can always fall back on two things: service and courage. Hailing from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Johnny Rico led a comfortable life. He played ball and was great at it. He had a loving, well-off parents. He had a great network of friends and a girlfriend he couldn't stop obsessing over. While daydreaming of this girl obviously hindered his grades, everything else was perfectly fine in Johnny Rico's life. While in civics class, his teacher would educate Rico and the rest of the class on how the current world works. Being that this is the 23rd century, Rico's world is different from ours. All the countries on Earth are united under one banner based. The current society is relatively healthy, safe, and peaceful based. To become this, it transformed into a militaristic and disciplined society based. In order to vote, run for public office, or have kids, you need to become a citizen. And in some of these cases, you need to get permits. In civics class, Rico was taught that the world works this way because it is more efficient that civilians earn their citizenship, and that their way of life values people willing to defend the Federation. Case in point, the Federation, aka the government or the body of people, teaches everyone that the authority is derived from violence, whether that be the possibility to use violence, the threat of violence, or actually using violence to achieve your goals. This isn't technically wrong if you think about it. But either way, if you want rights and authority in Starship Troopers society, you need to serve society first. You must first learn to place society above yourself before you can attempt to change it. That's the difference between a civilian and a citizen in this universe. And it's why citizens have rights that civilians don't. Johnny Rico fully understands and believes in this concept from a young age. Rico later decides to sign up for the Terran Federation Army for two big reasons. Firstly, because he believes in serving others and his planet so much. He has the masculine urge to fight and protect what he loves. Secondly, his girlfriend, Carmen, has also signed up for the Citizens Federation Army. Unfortunately for Rico, while he's fit and good at sports, he's not academically inclined, and he's not gifted with psychic powers. Seeing that he's just a very able-bodied average Joe, he is placed into mobile infantry, separated from his girlfriend who became a pilot. Being athletic and focused on serving the Federation, Rico hones his physical and mental skills, showing great ability to strategize with teammates and pull off impressive maneuvers and physical feats while he's in boot camp, earning him the position of captain and the respect of his mates. Unfortunately, Rico makes a mistake that costs another trainee their life, and he's demoted back down to boot and given 10 lashes publicly. Not long after, his girlfriend breaks up with him via CD because she's not near him anymore and another guy was nice to her for 10 minutes. You know, usual woman stuff. Johnny Rico had lost his girl, who had meant everything to him. She was half the reason he signed up for the service, and to top it off, he was racked with guilt over the death of a squad mate he was partially responsible for. With a broken heart, guilt, and now probably having blue balls, Rico decides to sign his dropout papers and take a walk of shame down Washout Lane. As he prepares to leave boot camp, however, the camp gets news that Buenos Aires was destroyed by bugs shooting a meteor at Earth. Now Earth is setting up better defenses for space threats, but it will go to war and needs all the able bodies it can get for revenge against the bugs. Now put yourself in Rico's shoes. He just lost his girl, his family, and his home. Rico had lost basically everything and had nowhere else to go. But he had still one thing left, that masculine urge to serve, and he combined that with his newfound desire for revenge. Rico marched back into the office and got back into service. He was now officially a trooper, and he had one goal in mind: kill them all. Rico joined his squad and dropped onto a planet full of bugs. While the Federation had little experience with war against bugs, and remember, he trained before the bug war started, so Johnny and his troopers were given training specifically for the humans, not bugs. Even with this in mind, the Federation knew what its enemy was, even if they didn't know how to fight it yet. Rico and the rest of 6th Mobile Infantry Division were sent to Klendathu, with the goal of taking out the bugs that were spitting balls of plasma as anti-aircraft projectiles towards the Federation starships. Once they got onto the ground, Rico and crew used nuke launchers to take out the AA bugs. Feeling invigorated by their easy beginning, the troopers advanced to try and kill more bugs. Unfortunately, they were quickly overwhelmed and rushed by a swarm of bugs too big to fight head-on. The bugs had used tactics, which the troopers didn't see coming. Having to fight the bugs head-on for the first time scared most troopers, as most initially stood in fear. Rico wasn't one to lock up, though. He shouted for the troopers to kill them all, which rallied him and his comrades to open fire on the bugs. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough to stop the incoming swarm, and the retreat was ordered. Rico did his best to save those he could while retreating, and unfortunately he was gravely wounded on his way back to the ship. Saved by his old civics teacher from high school, Rico quickly recovered, punched the guy that was now dating his ex, and wasted no time returning to the fight. Now, the Federation and Rico knew what they were up against. With less plasma bugs acting as artillery, some of the bombers were able to get in close and bomb the shit out of the bug swarm. Rico and his team were able to mop up from there, turning from losers to winners, now that Johnny and the rest of the Federation knew what they were up against. The 6th Mobile Infantry celebrated that night with music, beer, and song. Rico, now single, let the mid-girl get some grade A Rico dick, and then he suited up again to answer a distress call. Upon arriving to the base that was sending a distress call, Rico and his troopers found out that the bugs have a brain bug among them, who's able to suck out people's brains and make humans do what it wants. They deduced that this brain bug is intelligent and able to command other bugs, hence why the bugs were able to strategize and ambush the Federation and its troopers earlier. Speaking of which, Rico and his troopers were surrounded and ambushed while they were at this base. They called for immediate extraction. During this time, Rico fights like hell, and unfortunately has to put down an old comrade of his, who's mortally wounded and lost their legs. Also, that mid-chick that Rico just digged down had also died. F in the chat for her, I guess, I don't know. After this, Rico and the 6th go into the tunnels. Their main force goes after the brain bug to capture it, while Rico takes 2 volunteers to save his ex. Now, obviously Rico is a true king who is saving her because she's a fellow soldier. Rico is totally not pussy whipped for his ex. Our king is too based for that, I swear, guys. Come on, real kings here. Come on, Rico's one of us, I swear. Anyways, Rico saves his ex, and his platoon captures the big brain bug off screen. While some viewers may be upset that Rico wasn't the one big soul hero of the Federation claiming the brain bug himself, remember the point of Rico. Rico is not the sole hero of his planet. Rico is another soldier, another man, just someone from Buenos Aires whose sense of duty, courage, and revenge have left him serving his cause and killing them all. Now, I'm just going to quickly gloss over the rest of the movie story portion of Johnny Rico, because the rest of it stems from the third movie, and the third Starship Troopers movie sucks fucking gay-ass goat monkey balls in a twister, dude. It's just really bad. So we're just going to say this really quickly. Anyways, 8 years later, Johnny Rico is still turbo-based. He's able to effectively command nearby troops into firing lines. Now he's showing his growth from the initial battle. Remember how they all had to run away and he was almost killed? And now he was a commander. And he was able to get his people into firing lines and take out oncoming swarms of bugs, thanks to now their growth and their experience and their new training. Anyways, at the end of the movie, Rico hops into a mech suit and nukes a bunch of bugs, and at the end of the movie, it implies that Rico gets his fighting prowess and strength from God, making Johnny Rico peak-based, which is really cool concept if they didn't put it into a fucking 2 out of 10 shit-ass movie that was Starship Troopers 3. But anyways, we're going to continue, Kings. So, I want to end with this. Why is Johnny Rico literally us? From the beginning, Johnny Rico is a pretty relatable character. He's not stupid, but he doesn't apply himself in math class, because math is gay and his girlfriend at the time is hot, which is fair. If you remember back to when you were in high school, you were probably thinking about fucking Susie, who had a fat ass in math class, instead of like fucking the tan over 10 or whatever shit they were trying to teach us. So, you know, that's literally us right there. He also likes sports, and it's obvious that he can become proficient at whatever he sets his mind to. He makes time for his friends, and he's physically fit. He has a strong sense of duty for his community, and when his home and loved ones were destroyed, Johnny Rico wastes no time in getting revenge, helping others, and making things right. He's not the sole hero of Federation, but he's a hero to the people that need him. We can take that away from Johnny Rico's story. We're not the hero for the whole world, but we can dedicate ourselves to serving the world and be a hero for someone who needs it. And all of that wraps up this video. A big thank you to anyone who's watched this far. I really do appreciate anyone who watches this far. You guys are real ones. It does mean the world to me when people watch and support my stuff. I love the comments. I love it all. Don't forget to comment, subscribe down below. Most importantly, just so you guys are aware, I do have a charity live stream coming to my Facebook page. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a 24-hour charity live stream on my Facebook page, and all the money goes directly to Galisano's Children's Hospital in Rochester, New York. The live stream will start on July 14th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be playing games, trying to raise money for sick kids. You Kings should be there. I would love you guys to be there. And with all of that out of the way, I hope you guys all have a great day.